Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Tonight, I come to you with a breaking story that is coming in right now, happening in Kumba. The restoration forces in Kumba have taken over the streets of the city, and we are told that there are gunshots all over the city of Kumba. I will be having somebody from Kumba bringing us with some briefs with what is going on. Again, shooting all over the city of Kumba. As I come to you, it is happening right now. I will bring in somebody from Kumba to tell us what is going on there. Once more, good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. I come with a very special presentation on Kamto's letter to what he calls his brothers and sisters in the Northwest and the Southwest. Also, we'll be bringing you some information about the use of drones. The use of drones by a lot of public to Cameroon to combat Ambazonia's fighters. Many things, many more subjects in this broadcast. So please go ahead, as usual, do me the favor, hit your share button, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put in there, and sorry for the hitch there. Again, I come to you with the breaking news emerging from Kumba this evening. Right now, as I come to you, we are told that there are serious gunshots in the city of Kumba. Serious gunshots going on right now in the city of Kumba. Restaurant fighters have taken over the city, and there is lots of gunshots going on. Now, this is happening in the backdrop of colonial officials in the city of Kumba forcing some so-called march past t-shirts against Labor Day, May 1st, on traders in the city of Kumba. We are told that traders are being forced to pay for t-shirts that they did not bargain for. They are made to pay 2,500 CFA to purchase the t-shirt towards participating in the march past on the 1st of May. Let me say this before I bring in my informant in Kumba. Let me say this for those of you who, if you live in Kumba, there will be a lockdown of Kumba on May 1st. There will be a lockdown of Kumba on May 1st. The idea that a lot of public to Cameroon will continue to use impunity to carry out projects, events in our territory, that will never again be accepted. It will never again be accepted. So that is what has been going on. Let me bring in my informant from Cape Town. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Now we understand that the gunshot started like probably less than an hour ago. Tell us what you are hearing. Are you able to see anything, or what are you hearing?
No, the gunshot started at 8 o'clock, at exactly 8 o'clock this evening. At exactly 8 o'clock this evening. Even right now, the gunshot is still ongoing.
It's still ongoing at this moment. And what part of the city are you hearing these gunshots?
Fiango, the gunshots are coming from Fiango. Everywhere is gunshot, everywhere. We don't really know precisely where the guns are coming from.
Okay.
We don't know where the guns are coming from. The whole place is... Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the whole place, you cannot dictate where the guns are coming from. You hear from Bonge Road, where you are, you can, the whole town, all in all, the whole town is full of gunshots.
So you are hearing, so you can hear gunshots in the Fiango, Mbonge Road, and different parts of the city.
Yes. Even now, as we speak, it's ongoing.
And it has been going on since 8 p.m.
Yes, 8 p.m. Exactly 1 minute past 8 p.m.
Are there vehicles on the streets?
How can there be vehicle in the street when such things is happening? You cannot.
Okay. And
yeah.
Now we understand that the colonial officials in the city of Kumba, they have been trying to force traders to buy T-shirts for 1,000, 2,500 towards 1st May Labor Day March Fast. And traders have been resisting the event. Tell me what you know.
You are correct. That part you are correct. You are correct. The matter of T-shirt, you are correct. You are very, very correct.
Oh, I think I lost the informant there. Let me see, I can get back to him. So again, as we speak right now, gunshots all over the city of Kumba. They are hearing them at Fiango, Mbonge Road, and I mean, you know, Fiango is at the other end, Mbonge Road is at the other end, and different parts of the city. And of course, we knew this was coming, because the colonial officials in the city of Kumba have been forcing traders. And I don't know whether this has been going on in different parts of Ambazonia, but it has been reported that in Kumba, the colonial officials have been forcing traders to purchase their T-shirts. And don't be surprised, these T-shirts will be bearing the emblem, the images, effigy of Paul Biya, to take and march on May 1st. May 1st. So, this is what we are trying, the message we are trying to pass to the people in Kumba. Kumba will be shut down on May the 1st. Kumba will be shut down on May the 1st. If you have been forced to buy their T-shirt towards that event, do yourself a favor and stay home. Do yourself a favor by staying home on May 1st. And if in any part of Ambazonia people are being forced to go out and take part in any march past with any T-shirt, please do yourself a favor and stay home. Stay home and not venture out. Again, the moment when the Republic of Cameroon officials force us to do things with impunity, that moment is over. I think it appears like they are still dreaming, they are still living in the illusion that we are gone. We are gone. Ambazonia is gone, and we are gone for good. Unfortunately, I hope my informant calls back. I lost him. I lost him when when we were talking. I think it should be a network problem or so. When he gets back, When he gets back, I will put him back online to talk to us, to tell us what is going on. So I will come back again to the story when I get more updates coming from Kumba, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I will come back to Kumba, the developments in Kumba, once I get more updates in the course of the broadcast. Let us leave Kumba and go to Yaoundé, precisely in La République du Cameroon, where Cameroon has now employed or deployed the use of drones to fight the battle in Ambazonia. And the drones were supplied to them by the French. The drones were supplied to them by the French. You can find a picture of it on your screen there right now. You can find the Cameroon army there on whatever they're doing there, but you can, I think they are unpackaging the drones. Those are the drones that they are using. They are using to fight the war in Ambazonia. That's what La République du Cameroon is resorting to. Again, resorting to drones. If you are a restoration fighter in Ambazonia, please do yourself a favor and remain wherever your camp, your hideout is. You guys have to remain very vigilant, because these drones supplied by La République du Cameroon by the French, they have the ability to see at night. Again, the drones are particularly equipped to have this to see at night. So, if wherever you are at night, and I'm here referring to the restoration fighters of Ambazonia, wherever you are at night, don't think that the drones cannot see you at night. For as long as there is nothing covering you, the drones can see you at night because they are equipped with powerful lenses that have the capability to see where you are and even possibly drop a bomb on you. So we urge our restoration fighters, please be very, very vigilant. Do not give yourself to be detected by those La République du Cameroon's drones. That is what they are deploying right now. We have heard this for a while until somebody forwarded the photo to me. I have the message in it that came with it in French. I cannot put it here. But again, we want the restoration fighters to take note, be very, very vigilant. La République du Cameroon is deploying the use of drones to track down or to search for the hideout of the restoration fighters. Take care of yourself. Do not allow yourself to be detected by any of these drones. The best place to be is where you know there is a shade over you, because the drone cannot see beyond the shade. The drone can only see for as far as there is nothing that is hindering visibility from it. But if you are in the shade, in the house or whatever, in the thick forest or something like that, where Field Marshal used to be, where Field Marshal used to be. So if you are in a thick forest, there is no way a drone can see you. The only way a drone may be able to see you in the thick forest is that it may be equipped with what they call heat sensors. What it does is the heat sensors that are attached to the drone are able to detect the activities of human beings by virtue of the heat that evaporates out of a human being from up. So, but I think they will not venture that in the forest. So again, we hope that our restoration fighters, they take note of this and protect yourself. Make sure you are safe out there and do nothing that will put you in harm's way. We want you to be safe. We want you to live to fight. Dead people do not fight. Only the living, they do fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Now, I'll take you to another story. In this story now, has to do with the with the ADF, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this story is very important. This story is very important because only I think a week ago, I came here with a presentation asking Ambazonian civilians to make sure that they expose wherever the ADF wants to run and hide themselves. And as of today, I still stand by that message. As of now, I still stand by that message, ladies and gentlemen. This struggle has suffered a lot in the hands of the ADF. It is always the ADF and no other group else. Yeah, there are other rook fighters out there, but at least we know that once in a while, those rook fighters, they are fighting. I'm talking about the rook fighters within the ARF. At least we know that once in a while, they fight. When you go to Bui, you hear that, oh, a fighter has robbed somebody and taken 100,000 or 50,000. We can say for sure that in Bui, war is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, you go to Mamfe, you hear that a fighter has robbed somebody of 10,000 or 50,000. We can say that in Manu, fighting has been going on all over the place. But that is not the same case with the ADF. When you hear that the ADF has done anything, it is either robbing our own people, abducting them, or killing them and chopping off their heads. This has gone on from day number one that the ADF picked up arms, not to fight La République du Cameroon, but to fight fellow civilians, fellow citizens of Ambazonia. And we have or received complaints again and again and again and again from ground zero. Some people said to me, Comrade Chris, don't you think you are promoting infighting? No, comrades, it is not infighting. We have done everything from within our own powers to see that something is wrong. Somebody also wrote and said, these boys, they need education. No, they don't need education. They have been educated for the 7 years and counting of this war. And by the way, why only does the ADF need education? Why? How about restoration fighters? Why are they fighting? Why don't they need education? Why are they doing the right thing? Why are they protecting civilians and not abducting them and taking money as the ADF has been known to be doing for the 7 years and counting of the war? That is why today, ladies and gentlemen, we are resolved to make sure that if the ADF will not change its ways, we are ready to wipe them off the earth in Ambazonia. And I mean it. I really mean it. I hear some of them saying, oh, Chris, where are your soldiers fighting? I don't need to tell you where they are fighting, but I promise you that if any fighter on the ground will be a pain on those civilians who have already suffered a lot of pain, going forward, we will do everything. If we cannot take them out, we will make sure they are exposed to be taken out. And that is what happened on Saturday with these 3 ADF fighters. We now learn the ADF abducts people, confiscate their cars, use the cars to go about robbing other people. And that is what happened on Saturday. The ADF picked up a woman around Chair Street in Bamenda. They barricaded her. She is driving somewhere. I think they said she was going to church. The ADF pulled in front of her in a car, stepped out with guns, and stopped her and asked her to step out. She steps out, and they said, show us your tax, your tax receipt, your liberation. They asked her for a liberation tax receipt. And the lady said, I have no idea that they are collecting some tax for some war. They said, okay, now that you know, you got to pay. They took her handbag. They collected her handbag from her. She is seated in her car. They collected her handbag from her, opened the handbag. There was 15,000 francs inside. They confiscated the 15,000 francs. And then since demanded for more money, demanded for 1 million. 1 million CFL. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this happened last Saturday, and this is first-hand information I am giving you. So they collected her handbag. She is seated in her car. They pulled in front of her, came out with guns, and said to her, "We need to see your tax receipt, your liberation tax receipt." And the lady said, "I have no idea that they are paying any tax here." They said, "Okay, now that you know, you have to pay." She said, "I don't have money." They collected her handbag, opened it. There was 15,000 francs inside. They took it away. Now, after they took the 15,000, they asked her to hand over the keys of the car to her child who was with her in the car. She handed over the keys to the child, and they took her out of her car to their own car. These guys are driving cars that they have confiscated. They have seized from innocent people, innocent civilians. So they took her off the car to their own car and demanded for 1 million CFA francs. Again, this was last Saturday. And since she could not afford 1 million CFA francs, they drove her to Alabokam. Once you got there, there were 4 other people seated there in front of their Rook General. And according to the story we know, it appears like only this other captive intervention spared the life of another captive. They were waving a knife on her tongue, on her neck, and telling the man, "If you do not give 10 million, 10 million, if you do not give 10 million, this is your day. You are going to die." Now they've already confiscated her car. His car, and the man is seated there, and they are demanding 10 million. Of course, the man could not afford 10 million. So when they brought this lady in, there are now 5 of them in the dungeons of the ADF in Alabukam. At the end of the day, to cut the story short, the man is released after paying 1 million. Now, they will not return his car to him because, according to them, he still owe them a balance of the money, so they will have to keep his car until he goes and brings the balance of the money. I don't know whether it's the balance of the 10 million or whatever amount. We don't know. And the lady who is taken in, whose 15,000 has been collected and then taken into their account, she is also demanded to pay she's asked to pay 1 million. The other man is asked 10 million. This lady is asked 1 million. Her car is parked somewhere and the daughter is somewhere inside. And she is picked up into this camp and she is asked to pay 1 million. She says she doesn't have 1 million. They held her there. She slept there until the family had to cough out, ladies and gentlemen. The family had to cough out money into the pockets of these hoodlums, so-called ADF fighters at Alabukam. Again, this happened just last Saturday. So at the end of the day, while they are seated there, the news comes that 3 other ADF, I think the story is that it is the same ADF fighters who picked up these 5 people who were in captivity, who had gone out. Because what they do is they go out, abduct people, take them to their camp, leave them with their generals, and go out for more business. That's what happened. So they brought in these people and they are back into the field. While they are back onto the field trying to abduct more people, the civilian populations caught hold of them and exposed them, and 3 of them were killed. 3 of them were killed. I know somebody who had to buy the coffin for the 3 of them to be buried. For 3 of them to be buried. Now, stories are emerging today that there were indeed 5 of them killed. But I know of 3 of them killed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this happened just 2 days, no, just a day ago. That was on Saturday. This is why we are saying if the ADF will not reform itself and begin to do the work that other restoration fighters have been doing for the past 7 years, we will do everything without any apology to eliminate them on ground zero. And I have no apologies again. I have no apologies for to any surrogate of the ADF and AGOC. You can say what you want, you can do what you want, you will not cause us this struggle in which we have had friends died, family members died, homes burnt down, thousands living as refugees, and hundreds of thousands others living as internally displaced. We will not allow that to happen. Not after we have gone this far. Not after we have registered this success this far. We cannot allow the SDF, the ADF to derail this struggle, and which is why everybody, especially if you are on ground zero, you must be on board this campaign. You must be on board this campaign to get rid of the ADF. And I will come here on television. I will do this again and again and again until this message resonates with everyone on the ground. If they will not fight La République du Cameroon, let's get rid of them. As we will be fighting, and they will be making profit. You pick up one person and you demand 10 million. In fact, I just learned that one of them who was killed on Saturday had 20 million francs in his pocket, cash. 20 million francs cash in his pocket, ladies and gentlemen. Other fighters are there fighting and dying and sacrificing their lives and paying the ultimate price. These guys, all they do is go out, abduct people, take money, and you don't see where their battlefields are. Nobody knows their battlefields. We all have to stop it. Ground zero, listen to the sound of my voice. Wherever you find a hideout of the ADF, expose it. Expose it. Let's purge all of them. Let's purge all of them and let the genuine restoration fighters do the work they have known how to do for 7 years and counting. If we don't do it, the ADF will mess this for all of us. And this is a problem. This is another problem. When the ADF goes out, abduct people, take these millions and go away with it, guess where the damage goes? It is collateral damage. Every ARF fighter is painted with a broad brush as if they are the ADF. No! We have thousands of great warriors on ground zero doing the right thing out of pain and suffering. They refuse to do what the ADF is doing. But the ADF goes out and do this. The news writes it as Ambazonian separatists. The news writes as Ambazonian separatists. Whereas it is a few rooks who are indulging in this. Can you imagine that the ADF hold a whole community of Batebo, Guzang, and those Mogamo villages, hold them ransom, collecting money, taxing them. What do they do with the money? Nobody sees it. Nobody knows it. You only hear them collecting money. Those who manage them should be ashamed of themselves. Again, those who manage them, they should be ashamed of themselves. This is not what this war was meant to be. It was not meant to chastise our people, to rob our people. It was meant to chastise the public and kick them out of Ambazonia. I ask the question. We have thousands of Larapoprito Cameroon citizens on our soil. How many of them has the ADF chased out? We have their businesses on our soil. How many of them has the ADF abducted in demand that they pay tax? Again, I would just want to add that if you are on ground zero, let's make it a collective fight, a collective responsibility to chase the ADF out of the territory. If you are on ground zero, anywhere on ground zero, where the ADF exists, please expose them. Expose them. 1 month ago in Batibo, the civilians exposed 2 of them and they killed them. Now, yesterday, Saturday, the civilians exposed them, they killed 3 of them. If they begin to go one by one, you expose them one by one and they are taken out, what will happen is the rest will either learn and begin to do the right thing or will wipe them all out. Will wipe them all out. Comrades, I want all of you to know, I have no beef to fry with the ADF. The only beef I have to fry with the ADF is that they are killing our people and adding suffering on people who have already suffered a lot. And if we don't do anything, and they derail this struggle, all of us will bear the damage. But they would have benefited from the robbing that they carry out on the ground. But your brother, your mother, your sister, your home would have been destroyed for nothing. And they would have facilitated a lot of people to Cameroon coming back to lord it over all of us. That is why we must be resolved to stop it. I will be calling a meeting in the days ahead of all Momo people, including Mogamo people. Please, we are calling a meeting of all Momo people and Mogamo people. We are going to do something in Momo as a whole and Mogamo in particularly to stop that, so that when we kick out the ADF, there should not be a vacuum, no vacuum over there. So if you are from Mogamo, you are from Momo, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to see you when we call that meeting. This is very important, please. Very, very important. I hope you get that. I will be out. I will take 1 minute out. And when I come back, I will bring you my monologue for the day. Stay put, please, and make sure you continue to hit your share button. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that my audio is good out there. I hope my audio is good out there. I cannot listen to myself because I think I saw somebody complain of the audio. However it is, I hope you are able to hear me. Now, I would like to take you to this story that has to do with Maurice Kamto. Maurice Kamto, ladies and gentlemen. If you, it's precisely on the April the 18th, Maurice Kamto sent out the letter that you find on your screen. Now, in the letter, he addresses the letter to what he calls or describes as his sisters and brothers in the northwest and the southwest. Again, that is Maurice Kamto. He addresses the letter to what he describes as his sisters and brothers in the northwest. And it is essentially about trying to placate what they call Anglophones to show up, register for their presidential election, and take part in the vote. That is what that letter is all about. Now, in that letter, he also states how he is very serious to make sure that under his presidency, that the Ambazonian, of course, that's my terminology. They call it Northwest and Southwest, or NOSO, or Anglophones. But he says under his presidency, the conflict, the Anglophone problem will be resolved. And I thought to bring him a response to that message, and here you go. In the midst of the ongoing conflict in Ambazonia, the statement issued by Maurice Kamto, La République du Cameroon's opposition leader, to what he describes as his sisters and brothers in the northwest and southwest on April 18 has sparked a flurry of skepticism and doubt among the Ambazonian population. If anything at all, Ambazonians find Kamto's words to be lacking in sincerity and genuine commitment to an enduring solution to the conflict. As the leader of the opposition in La République du Cameroon, Maurice Kamto's words carry weight and influence. Hope he knows this. However, his message to the people of Ambazonia, which he prefers to recall or refer to as, as designated as Northwest and Southwest, was met with suspicion and disbelief. Kamto's assertion of the indivisibility of Cameroon and his emphasis on resolving the conflict through dialogue and a federal state does not sit well with Ambazonians. They see his words as an attempt to pacify and blindfold them into complacency rather than addressing the root causes of the conflict. Kamto's reference to reunification, a terminology that has been used by La République du Cameroon's politicians to imply that the southern Cameroons have no distinct voice of their own, further fuels the skepticism by invoking a non-existent reunification. Kamto seemed to disregard the unique history and aspirations of the southern Cameroons, suggesting that they were always part of Cameroon. The southern Cameroon was always part of Cameroon. You want us to believe, which we Ambazonians vehemently reject. The key questions raised by Ambazonians in response to Kamto's statement highlight their concerns, our concerns about his true intentions and commitment to a genuine solution to the conflict. We question whether Kamto truly believes in the right of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, to self-determination, whether he would support a referendum for the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, to express their wishes freely, and whether he acknowledges their right to withdraw from the Union, if there was one, as they say, with La République du Cameroon. Ambazonians want any dialogue to involve only two parties, La République du Cameroon and the Southern Cameroons, and to take place in a neutral country to ensure fairness and impartiality. A union can only be based on the freely expressed wishes of both parties, rather than a forced or imposed unity that disregards the aspirations of the Southern Cameroons. Our skepticism towards Maurice Kamto's intentions, ladies and gentlemen, and commitment to a just solution to the conflict stems from a long history of broken promises and unfulfilled commitments by political leaders in the République du Cameroon. Ambazonians have witnessed a lack of genuine progress towards resolving the conflict and addressing their grievances, leading them to questioning the motives of any political figure who claims to stand for justice and for peace. In the eyes of Ambazonians, actions speak louder than words. We demand concrete actions and genuine efforts towards recognizing our rights and addressing the root causes of the conflict, rather than empty promises and vague assurances. Until Maurice Kamto and other political leaders demonstrate a true commitment to the aspirations of the Ambazonian people, their words would continue to fall on deaf ears and be met with skepticism and doubt. The skepticism and doubt surrounding Maurice Kamto's intentions in addressing the Northwest and Southwest conflict, as he puts it, deepen as more questions arise regarding his true commitment to the cause of the Southern Cameroons. The call for a United Nations supervised referendum exclusively for the people of the Southern Cameroons to express their wishes freely has been a crucial demand put forth by Ambazonians. They believe that only through such a democratic process can their voices be heard and their aspirations for autonomy and independence be respected. Kamto's reluctance to openly support such a referendum raises suspicions among Ambazonians, who view his stance as evasive and insincere. The demand for dialogue to take place between two equal parties, that is, the République du Cameroon and the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, in a neutral country underscores the need for fairness, the need for transparency and impartiality in any peace negotiations. Ambazonians insist on a level playing field where their concerns and grievances would be given due consideration rather than being overshadowed or marginalized by the dominant narrative of the Cameroonian state. Ultimately, the litmus test for any Francophone claiming to stand for justice and peace in the Ambazonian conflict, lay in their responses to these fundamental questions. Ambazonians see these questions as essential probes into the sincerity, the integrity, and the commitment of any leader purporting to look for lasting solutions. The answers provided by political figures like Maurice Kamto would reveal their true colors and true intentions, shedding light on whether or not they truly respect the rights and aspirations of the people of the southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. The history of the Ambazonian conflict, ladies and gentlemen, is rife with broken promises, failed initiatives, and escalating violence every day. Ambazonians have endured years of marginalization, of oppression, and human rights abuses, fueling their determination to seek recognition, to seek justice and self-determination. Against this backdrop, the words and actions of political leaders like Maurice Kamto carry a heavy burden of responsibility and accountability. In the eyes of Ambazonians, the only path to peace and justice lay in a genuine commitment to addressing the root causes of the conflict, recognizing the rights and aspirations of the Southern Cameroons, and engaging in a transparent and inclusive dialogue process. Unto political leaders, the lives of Maurice Kamto demonstrate a clear and unwavering dedication to these principles. Their words will continue. Again, their words will continue to ring hollow and fail to resonate with the aspirations and hopes of the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. And that is my monologue and response to this letter coming from Maurice Kamto. I am supposed to be joined by Comrade Dennis Atem, joining me from somewhere in Africa, and not Dennis Atem, not Derek Atem. And of course, I have also Derek, who is joining me from Norway. I don't see Derek here. I see him here, but it appears that his image is frozen. Okay, it looks good. If you can bend your camera slightly, sir, Derek. All right. Good to have you here, sir. I want to believe. Oh, what? Something is going on here. Something is going on here. All right. Something seems to be going wrong here. Something is going wrong here. Give us a minute, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I hope we are doing well now. Thank you for joining, Comrade Derek. Thank you for joining the show. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Chris, it's a pleasure being in your TV station one more time, and I believe that we are going to give our best. So I would like to take this opportunity to to greet all our freedom fighters on ground zero. I also want to greet our mothers, our fathers, our brothers who are actually going this torture from both the enemy, La République du Cameroon, and even from some of uh, our own people. So I would like us to really look into their problems and see how we can help them fast track this liberation so that they will gain their liberty.
All
So
right,
I
thank
also
you.
want to thank the other panelists who will be joining us.
Yes, while I bring him in, let me ask you this question. I'm sure you had some time. If you can bend your camera again slightly and centralize the image, that would be great. I'm sure you had time to read the letter to the Northwest and Southwest sisters and brothers by Maurice Kamto. If you can give me your take, what you took out of it, please.
You see, Chris, for 60 years we have seen and read all those kinds of letters from our neighbors, citizens from La République du Cameroon. So the letter of Kamto is not new, and you have given actually a rundown of the content, and I believe that I will just have to add a little bit in what you just said. You see, if you look back into our history, we will realize that we ourselves have been the people allowing them to do this, what they are doing, because they have realized that they can easily fool us. You see, what Kamto is doing, he is trying to deceive our people, believing that he is that Messiah. But he fails to understand that history cannot be, history cannot be hidden. We have seen this even before the plebiscite. Where are all the promises that the UPC gave? What happened? Where are the promises Mr. Ahijo himself gave to our people before we accepting to come to live together with them? Where are those promises? Where are the promises that Mr. Paul Biya gave? We have not seen those promises. You see, so it is just a history repeating themselves. And why is this history repeating? Is because we Ambazonians have allowed it to happen. So what I will call our people, the attention of our people, is to disregard all what Mr. Kamto has written. Because what he has written there has nothing to do with our aspiration. Mr. Kamto is just trying to use Ambazonians to achieve his aim. How can a country that cannot save itself believe that they will use election to kick out a well-established colonial system? Because according to the letter of Mr. Kamto, he is saying that Mr. Paul Biya is the problem. But looking at the political history of Cameroon, and you will find out that the problem of Cameroon itself is not even Mr. Paul Biya. The problem is that well-established colonial system run first by the CNU and now disguised in the form of CPDM that needs to be eradicated from that territory. And let Mr. Kamto start by doing that before he can now invite us to come and join him to do whatsoever. And I bet you, Mr. President Chris, there is no way in Cameroon that election will eradicate this political scam that has been established in Cameroon. And you can see examples from all other African countries that are trying to free themselves. Elections have never been the tool. and it will never be a tool in La République du Cameroon. So all this thing of calling Ambazonia to come and join the election whatsoever is just a scam. Ambazonians you can vote, it will make no changes. La République, citizens of La République can vote, it will make no changes because the colonial system has put in place a method of rigging the elections. Now, the issue here is not even winning the elections in such a system. The problem is how to defend that victory. And my question to Mr. Kamto is how many AK-47 does he have? How many fighters has he trained to defend this election he wants Ambazonia to go and join him? Because it is certain that the colonial system will rig the elections. So how many AKs has Mr. Kamto prepared? What are his alliance? Which country has he lobbied to come into his help? None of them. So they are merely dragging us into the same game that we have seen in the name of democracy, the same game, repeating the same story over and over. And he, Mr. Kamto, was even one of the architects of this system. So if he thinks that election is the way, then personally, I'm not seeing that way. There is no way you will use election to dismantle this system. It has to be done with the barrel of the gun, which means you will have to match the colonial system fire for fire, bullet for bullet. It is certain that when they will rig the election, they will send out their bees. You heard of Mr. Atanganji. He mentioned of the Molinex. He even talk of bees. So they will send out their bees to silence you. And until you have that capacity of matching them fire for fire, bees for bees, they will steal your election, they will use their bees to silence you, and then everything will go as usual until the next 5 or 7 years again. You come back, Kamto will come back again to tell us about a new election. So Ambazonia will not fall in that trap. Enough is enough. We are out of it. So let Mr. Kamto know that we will not be part of it. And I call on all Ambazonians, discard all what this man is saying. It has nothing to do with our sovereignty.
All right. Let me get over to Dennis. If you can bend your camera, Dennis, please bend your camera. Okay, that looks good. No, it's cutting your head now. All right. You read again, thanks for joining me on the show. You read Kamto's letter very within the lines to its details. And I know I read something that you wrote and forwarded to me. Kamto compares Ambazonian cause to the cause of his party members who are locked up in Condengate. In other words, we have the same problem. It's a Cameroonian problem. There is no Ambazonian problem. I mean, I'd like to get your take on the entire piece first.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chris, for inviting me to this very interesting show. I'm very happy with your monologue because really you touched almost on all the points that have to be touched upon. I want to also greet our people and encourage them in their resistance to these decades of oppression and subjugation by La République du Cameroon, and tell them that we shall overcome and we shall win. Now, let me come to Kamto's message to the people of the Southern Cameroon. Now, I have looked through that message and I selected some number of things that I want to highlight. First of all, I want to tell our people that Kamto is by far worse than Paul Biya in his perception of the Anglophone problem, as he calls it. The first thing you will note is that his method of he has proposed to address the matter is through another grand debate, like Paul Biya, in which he says inclusive dialogue, which will also involve the fighting the separatists. Now you can see that his intention is to go and drown the Southern Cameroon's problem in other groups in La République du Cameroon to prevent the problem from ever being heard. It is clear to everybody who reads that message that this is not someone who respects the right of the people of the Southern Cameroon to speak for themselves. For him, as a believer in one and indivisible Cameroon, the Southern Cameroonians must be forced to operate only within the confines defined by Kamto. And you can imagine that this is someone who has not even won power and is talking like this. Then let him win the power and you regret it forever. This is not someone that any Southern Cameroonian should ever vote for if they ever were going to vote. They should never, never on any occasion vote for Kamto because Kamto will be far worse than Paul Biya. He does not accept our right to self-determination. He does not believe that we should speak for ourselves. He has rejected, in one of his interviews, he rejected the idea of a referendum. And so this is someone who does not believe that we can speak for ourselves. How he is talking of justice. How can that justice be if you cannot speak for yourselves? Now, he confuses our problem with that of the citizens of La République du Cameroon. How many citizens of La République du Cameroon have been imprisoned for fighting for self-determination? How many have been imprisoned because their statehood, their independence, and their sovereignty was stolen? So, Kamto is confusing our own case with their own. The local problems they have in their country have nothing to do with our own. We are fighting because La République de Cameroon has stolen our statehood, has stolen our country, has stolen our identity, and is subjugating and oppressing us on a daily basis for the last 60 years. So therefore, let nobody make a mistake about Kamto's pretended sympathy by using the words his sisters and brothers of Northwest and Southwest. We are not his sisters and we are not his brothers. This is a pretender, this is an impostor, this is a liar. Everybody should be aware of this man. He is not someone we can dialogue with because he does not believe in dialogue. No. Anybody who believes in dialogue also believes in truth. Because if you will come only with lies, it means that there's no possibility for you to negotiate and dialogue with someone who will never accept the truth. He doesn't accept the truth of our history. He doesn't accept the facts. And you see, he comes and repeats one of the greatest lies that ever was told, the idea of reunification. I want to explain this to our people. Let everybody understand why a so-called reunification was an impossibility. There was no possibility for there to be reunification between the Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon. To understand this matter well, let me ask you people the question, when did the Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon come into existence? Consider that. Ask yourself those simple questions. I don't want to go to the date of the independence in 1960. If anything, they came into existence by 1916, when the boundaries were clearly defined. Now, from that 1916 to 1961, when they claimed that reunification occurred, did we ever have one day of anything in common with La République du Cameroon? So you people can see that the idea of reunification was an imperialist lie, a complete deceit, because the only country with which Ambazonia shared a common past was Nigeria. We never shared anything in common with La République du Cameroon. Our misfortune was to have the same name Cameroon in our two names, and therefore they have built on that to deceive the whole world, to deceive our people, and peddle those lies for decades. So it is time for our people to understand this matter well. There has never been any reunification because there was nothing to reunify between the two countries. The two countries had never met each other until 1961. So we had no common past with La République du Cameroon. If they are to claim that they were successor state to German Cameroon, they may speak of that, but then they'll be giving themselves the right to now invade Nigeria and recover northern Cameroons, northern Cameroons in Nigeria, to recover parts of German Cameroon that are in Chad, Central African Republic, and so on. So all of these are absurdities. Let us be aware. So, Comrade Chris, let me leave it at that, but make it very clear that our problems have nothing to do with the problems of La République du Cameroon. We are dealing with recolonization by La République du Cameroon, by foreign domination by La République du Cameroon, by suppression by La République du Cameroon, and we want our statehood back, we want our independence restored, we want our right to sing our own anthem, fly our own flag, use our own laws, and reject everything inherited by French Cameroon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Comrade Derek, let me get back to you, but if you can, your camera is cutting your head a little bit there. But you look at, as I've stated in my monologue, if people like Kamto want to believe that we take them seriously when they come forward with some of these proposals, which have never really been changed, you realize that in that his letter to his sisters and brothers in the Northwest and in the Southwest, he avoids using the word Southern Cameroons. If you look at the entire document, he is either using the word Anglophones or Northwest and Southwest. Now, because you know that the terminology Southern Cameroons has something to do with Ambazonia. So you realize that these guys are not genuine. They are playing politics. He cannot, as bold enough to recognize that there was the Southern Cameroons. He would not mention that. Now, we are also saying... Yes, go on, please.
Comrade Chris, that is very interesting, isn't it? He recognizes what he calls reunification,
yes,
but does not recognize the other party to that reunification.
Exactly.
That is quite interesting. That's quite interesting.
Yes.
You see, this is a liar. It's not someone whose words we can believe in. No, he's a liar. He's a liar and an impostor. We must not believe him.
So, Comrade Dennis, I'd like to have your take on that. Look at that little manipulation. Look at that little manipulation. He recognizes reunification. That is, if actually there was one, I don't think there was ever anything like reunification, because before 1961, the Southern Cameroon has never been part of La République du Cameroon. We never had a single government, a joint government. We never had a joint administration. We never had anything in common before 1961. So nothing can establish that, we now in 1961 had reunification, because it suggests that we were one before, whereas we were not. We never had a common government, common administrators, nothing, zero. So, Comrade
and Comrade Chris, let me just remind you. You know, in the ICJ, that is the lie they used to win the case against Nigeria. They claim in the Bakassi case that their boundaries crystallized on the 1st of October 1961 when reunification occurred. Very unfortunately, because we were not there, Nigeria could not argue the case.
And guess who was La République du Cameroon's lawyer for the Bakassi case? Was Kamto, right?
Of course. Liars of the first order. Liars of the first order. How could the boundaries crystallize on the 1st of October 1961 when there was nothing to reunify?
Yeah.
When there was absolutely nothing to reunify.
Right. Yeah, let me just add there that, you see, how we should ask ourselves a simple question. how did the other territories resolve this problem of reunification? Because Cameroon was not only extending reunification on the southern Cameroons. There was the northern Cameroons, there were other part of the other countries, they were extending this issue of reunification. Then how did these countries resolve this problem? By rejecting the name Cameroon. If you look the territory, if you by 1891, when the French had already signed a treaty, a peace treaty with the Germans, you know, this part of their territory from Chad, Congo, Gabon were attached. They made up the German Cameroon. And when the British had signed a peace treaty in 1889 with the Germans, that is when now this territory that was known as the British colony of Victoria, which is today called Ambazonia, was now attached to Cameroon. So we keeping on insisting and using the name of Southern Cameroons still gives these people the leverage of saying that there was reunification. The other, let's ask ourselves the question: why are the other territories not using the name Cameroon? They would have said the West Cameroon of or the North Cameroons, the Eastern Cameroons, or the southern south of Cameroons. They never used it. They abandoned that name. So it is high time we Ambazonia stop this nonsense of Southern Cameroon. Southern Cameroon, that is the name we were known at the United Nations. Southern Cameroon, that is the name we were known for independence. That is complete rubbish. And that is why when we keep using this name, we give Cameroon that leverage. And they keep using it to deceive the international community. Why other the territories that went to Chad, you don't hear anything Cameroon. Cameroon cannot go there and claim anything. The territory from Congo, you don't hear them about German, but they were German Cameroons. So I will appeal to Ambazonians strongly. Reject this name of Southern Cameroon. There is nowhere written that you must use that name. By using that name, it was designed by the French so that they will keep on reminding the world that we are part of them. And that is what they are doing, and we are still in bondage. Reject that name. You are known as Ambazonia. It is not in the place of the international community to tell you who you are. It is in your place to tell the international community who you are. So we have to determine our name, tell them that this is who we are. And we should stop fooling ourselves around this name of Southern Cameroons.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Comrade Derek.
Kamto.
I just want to mention that you can see the troubles that arose between Macedonia and Greece out of the name. So that we must be very, very careful with what a name does. Because when you go out and talk about Southern Cameroon, everybody just said the south of Cameroon, isn't it?
Exactly.
People still believe that you are talking about the southern part of La République de Cameroon. Very unfortunate. Right. So it is time we reject any Cameroon particle in our own name completely.
Exactly. Just as the other country did. And nobody talks about it today.
Well, but you know, right now, there's a government of the Southern Cameroons that has been created out there.
Those are complete. You see, those are the things we are talking about. Those are the things we are. Are we serious?
Sako created the government of the Southern Cameroons. You guys should not forget that.
Well, you see, all these things. I don't know if we are really we are ready to free ourselves. I don't know if we are ready to take away our people from the sufferings we are in. When we do all these things, we are giving people like Mr. Kamto the opportunity to talk about reunification, which never took place. And because when a stranger, look, you see, in my workplace, we have almost 38 nations working there. It's one of the most secured job place you will find here in Norway. That is the second secured place in Norway. You see, it takes me, it took me much time to even tell people that I'm Ambazonia, because everybody you want to say, you say no, Cameroon. You even want to say, okay, South, you say no, Cameroon, it's Cameroon. You understand? So it takes time for them to even understand until you start giving them the history. Some of them will take time to go and research, and they can say, oh, you are right. We are seeing that it was two countries. It takes time because of that name, Southern Cameroons, we are using. That name makes people to know that we are part of Cameroon. Let's reject it as other nations did. Why are they not having the name Cameroon in their own names? They rejected them, and then nobody knows about them. But we keep on fooling ourselves with a name that reminds us of our sufferings. And when they want to touch on, we say, oh, that is the name we are known to. Who know you by that name? So that is a name somebody gave you. You have a right, when you are 18 years, you have a right to change that name. And tell the person to call you by the name you have. It's international law. It's something that is everywhere. So why do they believe that it is only us that must? So we should stop this nonsense and then, do the right thing so that we can.
I think our people need to be reminded that in September 2017, we declared the restoration of our statehood and assume the name, just as we say, at any time when you become an adult, you can change your name. We declared ourselves.
I would prefer we reaffirm. I would prefer that because our declaration was made long time, far back in the 80s. All what has been going on from even Justice Ebong, all this, we are just reaffirming it. Ambazonia had its independence. We were not coming to create we are not coming to create a new country. We have an existing country recognized by international boundaries, recognized by international countries. We should not forget that Foncha went into a plebiscite agreement with Cameroon. Why? Because we became a sovereign state. We became a sovereign state. If we were not recognized as a sovereign state, Foncha would not have had that power as a premier to go and sign agreement on us, on our behalf. It was not the British who went and signed it. It was Foncha signed an agreement on our behalf. It was our government. So we should not be thinking that we are coming to create a new state. No. Our we never declared our independence was already declared far back in the 61, and we merely reaffirmed it. So we should not be calling 2017 that we declared independence. No, we had independence a long time ago.
Absolutely. The purpose for Kamto's statement to the Southwest and Northwest, we all know, is how to placate the people for votes. What would be the message you would send to those on the ground who are being targeted with rhetoric like that of Kamto, Comrade Dennis?
As I've said, they must stay away. Even if they were to vote, they should never vote Kamto. He is a danger to the people of Ambazonia because he will wage a more brutal and savage war against us than Biya has done. You can see it from his face. You can see it from his utterances, even when he does not yet have power. So people should stay away from anything concerning Kamto. He cannot. He is telling a lie even in our faces. He doesn't accept any possibility for us to speak for ourselves. And he's talking about justice. That is an impossibility. That is an impossibility. The way we can have justice is for you to defend your own case, to state your own facts. Only when the facts are speaking can we talk of justice. We cannot talk of justice, which is a question of manipulation. No, because Kamto has no intention to address this matter clearly. You can read more of what he intended from what he did not say, because he never mentioned addressing any intention to address the root causes of the matter. He never mentioned any intention to hear from the people of the Southern Cameroons. He is talking of federation. But federation means going to bottle us up in a federal parliament in which we will remain an eternal minority. And therefore, we will never ever be able to express ourselves, nor any of our own ideas to ever be accepted. So it is a complete hoax. It's a complete hoax. So we should not believe Kamto, and we should have nothing to do with Kamto. Anybody going to vote, even though we have said no Southern Cameroonian, no Ambazonian should go out and vote, should not vote Kamto at all. You better stay home and instead of going to vote anybody else. If you were going to vote Kamto, don't vote Kamto. He is a danger to the people of the Southern Cameroon because he's just preparing to come and wage his own war against us.
But hold on there, comrade. I have a problem with the whole concept of, oh, come out and vote for me, and after you vote for me, I am going to solve this problem. Why can't they say, hey, let's solve the problem, and then we'll call for an election? I think that is a way I will put it, and that will be the message I will say to everybody on Ground Zero, because we have seen Kamto is no different from Ahijo and from Paul Biya. The moment you put them in office, they become tigers, and you say anything at your own risk, you will be bundled to jail. You will do exactly the things that Ahijo and Paul Biya they did. So I think our message to Mr. Kamto should be, hey, if you truly care about your sisters and brothers in the Northwest and the Southwest, join them. Put pressure on the international community, on Cameroon, to come to the negotiation table. Let there be no election in that country without a solution to this conflict put on the table. If you do that, and if we agree to join you, we join you on our own terms, not by you enforcing it on us. And at that time, you can come campaign us for your votes, right?
Of course, that is a good strategy.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy.
That is why, you see, in the beginning I said, with the situation in La République du Cameroon, you will never use elections to remove the colonial system. That is a dream. If people have not done that, elections in Cameroon has been a way to continue the old system, to remain to put them in power. As long as there is election, the old system will remain in place. How is Mr. Kamto intending to take power, even if he wins the election? How will he take power? We just followed. We followed Mr. Abed Zonga. Nijon Frundi won. The colonial system refused. Power was seized from him. Did Frundi do anything? No. Why? Frundi did not have the capacity. And that's what I was asking, how much AK-47 has Kamto bought? How many self-defense forces is he having? Because the problem is not to go and vote. The problem is to be able to defend that vote. And you cannot defend that vote as long as this colonial system is in place. You will not be able to defend that vote by just coming out and making noise that you won the election. You have to match them fire for fire, bullet for bullet. Apart from that, forget Mr. Pobia will win, the CPDM will win, and the whole system will remain unchanged. And now let me talk about Mr. Kamto. See, Mr. Kamto, they have used him to scam Ambazonians. They have used him to scam even citizens of La République du Cameroon, because they tell you that he went and won the case in Bakassi. What case did Mr. Kamto win? In essence, if you look at the Bakassi, if you've read that Bakassi Peninsula judgment, Kamto did not win any case. The Southern Cameroons won the case for Cameroon.
Yeah.
What Mr. Kamto and his crew did was just to present exhibit to show that the people of Bakassi actually voted during the plebiscite. And the vote now were in favor of La République du Cameroon. That's for us to work with them. That is just what Mr. Kamto did. So there was nothing of legal something that he went there and said to change the boundaries. The boundaries were never changed. Mr. Kamto never. He was there. He was one of he was in the committee that traced the boundary. They were just following what the international. They were just going from one pillar to the others, showing where the international borders have been. That's a job even a layman can do. But they come out. They don't even tell you that Ambazonians lawyers were also there with Kamto.
I think Dion Gute there? I think so, right?
They were there, but they don't tell you. They just they bring back their own citizen, Kamto, to come and to fool you that if not of Kamto, Nigeria would have taken Bakassi. How would Nigeria have taken Bakassi when the international borders are well?
They don't know. They don't know.
You understand?
They don't know. The reality is that since our history has never been documented, the La Republique has cooked up its own history and intoxicated its own citizens and given its own version of the narrative as the one, like the idea of reunification. All of them believe that something actually occurred called reunification, isn't it?
Reunification.
But meanwhile, nothing like that ever occurred. You see?
It never.
Nothing like that ever occurred.
If there was reunification, why were they preaching of reunification again? How can you have something and then you are preaching of that thing to take place again? Because there was never reunification. That's why they were talking of reunification.
No, there couldn't have been. It is an impossibility. It was an
impossibility.
To make the point very clear, I think it is good to put it this way, so that the man on ground zero, the lay person, understand. Before the Germans came in, there was no government, so-called Cameroon government, that governed the territory that we refer to as the Southern Cameroons. It did not exist. And so, to now come around and be talking about reunification as if we were once the same entity, it didn't exist.
And by the way, Chris, Cameroon was just a protectorate. It was not even a colony, it was a protectorate.
Correct.
Which means, because in protectorate, they were doing was that they were sharing ideas, they were working in collaboration, they were preserving the people, the indigenous had the right to preserve their culture, to preserve their system. But in colonialism, it was a total destruction of those things and imposing the colonial master system. Oh, you see, from 1884, I mean from 1889, when we joined, when we came under the British, I mean under the German colonization, not protectorate, there was no name, just as you said. It was until 19th of July, until 19th of July 1922 that the League of Nations now declared the Southern Cameroon as an entity with recognized international borders. That was when our history started as a nation. And we were never declared to be the same, to be in one country with Cameroon. So there was nothing like reunification.
Yeah.
So this territory now was not transmitted, or it was transferred to the trusteeship system when the League of Nations died out. The mandated system was now transferred to the trusteeship system. So that is how we maintain that name, Southern Cameroon. There was nothing with Cameroon, of the French Cameroon, nothing like that. So there was nothing like reunification.
Absolutely. To round this up, this is the message I would like Ground Zero to take home tonight. And the message is this. If Kamto so much cares, and not just Kamto, but every other La Republique to Cameroon's politician, because I know they will all be descending on Ambazonia to campaign for election registration and the voting process, and not only them. And we are talking about any politician here. be he from La Republic or from Ambazonia. Those lackeys in Ambazonia who think they can run and win elections in La Republic of Cameroon, Frundi didn't teach them a lesson. But this is the message that I think Ground Zero should take home tonight. And the message is this. Tell them, tell any La Republic of Cameroon's politician that if they truly care about what you and your families have been going through for the 7 years and counting, what they should do is not ask you to vote. You vote for 61 years. You voted for 61 years from 1961. And if it was going well, if the vote was good enough, we will not be where we are at the moment. We will not be at war today. So if they care, you tell them, well, why not? Why not hold your political leaders to resolve this conflict? And after that, if we choose to join you in some unity government, if we choose, which should be our decision. It shouldn't be forced upon us as they are trying to do. It should be our decision, and that decision can only arrive after we have sat on a round table to decide the future. Kamto will not tell us what form of state that he is going to offer us. He has no legal right to offer us anything. Zero. So, this is a message for Ground Zero. Ground Zero, tell our Republic of Cameroon's politicians that if they care, let them forget about their elections, resolve the conflict, sit down on the round table. Let's look into the root causes of this conflict, settle it once and for all, and then, if you are pleased, they can come back for their election and you will know what to do at that moment. But for now, no La Republique du Cameroon's election in all of Ambazonia. That would not happen. That is the message. But going to another election subject, comrade, I came across recently a statement issued by Paul Atanganji legalizing another SDF. This time they called it SDFF. Comrade Derek, I don't know whether you saw that. They legalized another SDF party in Bamenda, and they are calling it SDFF. That is the name of that party, and the document is signed by Paul Atanganji. You can have it, you can find it on your screen there. That is the new party, the new SDF. I am wondering what is in their mind. What is going on in their minds? I really want to know what this is all about. Comrades, please, you guys tell me what you think. The formation of a second SDF in Bamenda, what is it all about?
You see, Comrade Chris.
Comrade Chris, is that not a splinter group? It's a splinter group like you find in all political parties, isn't it? The political parties start breaking apart, and that is it. And CPDM can only encourage that because it doesn't want any other political party to have any weight. So I think it's all part of their game,
but,
you know.
But if I may ask, why the SDF? The SDF is dead. Only the funeral is left. Why duplicate the SDF? So are they going to the southern zone to create another SDF or LDP or NDP of those days, or what? I mean, I need to understand.
I think that the issue here, you know, the CPDM has crafted the system in a way that they have some regional representation. They want people. They want to tell the world that even the so-called Anglophone, they are saying their party took part in this fake election that is coming. Because everybody knows that the SDF, the original SDF is dead. And that has been the program of the CPDM to collapse the whole system. So they see now that everybody is looking Joshua Osi to be a CPDM because it's purely, he has shown that he's CPDM. He's not the SDF man. So They want not to.
that doesn't make sense to me. If he is CPDM, why are they duplicating his party? They were just giving him seats.
They will bring another Anglophone there and probably make him prime minister.
I don't think you can you should not try to understand the situation now, because as for me, I've not even read that paper. The reality is that at this moment now, you will even ask yourself, why is an Ambazonian going to form a party to campaign where, to go and take power where? So they are making their own calculations, believing that they will ally with this or ally with that and get a position. And human beings are like that. Some of them can be killed for 500 francs, for 1,000 francs. So they are willing to do any absurdity, you see, to give themselves some importance. So I just ignore all of that, as of no relevance to me at all.
We should not forget that in the north they are losing. The northerners don't want them again.
Yeah,
so now the parties that have been, the parties that were what they were getting in the north, they are seeing it being threatened. So they are finding if they can duplicate more parties in our area, in Ambazonia and in other areas, then they cannot come out. The CPDM machine will not try to play it and tell the people that although in the north they did not vote this number, but in the south they made alliance with this party that had this number of.
Now, I'd like you to take a look at the document. Number one, that is the document legalizing the second SDF in Bamenda by Paul Atanganji. Yeah. Now, number one, that entire document is in French. Number two, the name on that document, I don't know the guy, but it sounds francophone. I mean, the owner of the party, the name sounds francophone. Somebody inserted a photo of the man there. I don't know whether, I cannot vouch whether that is him, but I guess by inserting that photo that they meant that is the guy. But the name sounds francophone. So, again, it beats my imagination. It beats my imagination what Paul Atanganji is trying to do here. So, it doesn't mean that how they allocate seats for their parliament and for the Senate. So are they going to go to Babenda, allocate maybe 10 seats for this new party and locate 3? Locate 3 for the original for the original SDF? I don't know. Do you see that happening?
Of course, that is their intention. You remember, Atanganji wants more political parties. Where on earth would you see a country with 300 and something political parties? Where on earth? So all those parties coming up is just a way to maintain, to facilitate the rigging they have been doing all these years. And just likely, as you said, we have been voting since 1961.
Yeah.
We came and joined them. And then we have been voting throughout, and they have been rigging using the same system until 2025. They will still use it, and that's why I'm asking: how will Kamto take the seat? He's asking us to come and vote. How will he claim that vote? How will he do that? Because even if all citizens of the Republic vote for him, all this mushroom party will be allocated seats. And he will come with, he will still, maybe last I had 14%, maybe now he will have 11% because these new parties will have to get their own share. So the whole system is a mess. Going there to vote is waste of time, which means you yourself, you even the Cameroonian, you don't even know you don't even know yourself. So if even the Cameroonian going to vote with this system now is useless. What other francophone countries have done is they have not removed the colonial system with votes. Look at Niger, look at Mali, learn from them. Look at Gabon. Gabon did not remove the colonial system with votes. They used the military. Go to look at Burkina Faso. It was uprising. The people rised up. And my question is, how many citizens of the Republic are ready to rise up? None of them. Just even look, the lawyers, they were demonstrating when the police came, not even the military, they started singing Poor Bia is a president. You see how unprepared the people are, how frightened they are, how unpolitically unconscious they are.
All
So
right.
to even Kamto has a work to first to make his population to be politically conscious, where they can stand up, rise up, and fight for that vote that that he's calling them to come and vote. When he does that, then he can come to Ambazonia.
All right, all right. Comrades, stay in there. When I come back, I mean, stay in there if you can. When I come back, I know all of you are over there in Europe and Africa. When I come back, I will open the phone lines and find out what Ambazonians are thinking out there, especially if you are on ground zero and you are in Kumba. In Kumba, I'd like to hear from you and know what is happening in Kumba tonight. When I came up, serious gunshots were taking place in Kumba, all over Kumba, as we learn. Unfortunately, the informant that I had online bringing us the information got abruptly shut down. So I have not gotten any updates since then. But I will open the phone lines. If you are in Kumba, please call and let us know what the situation is there over now. Stay put. All right, thanks for staying put there. The phone number is right there on your screen. Wherever you may be, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, South America, the lines are open. But make sure that before you go ahead and call, make sure that the volume of your television set is shut down, really low. I see the first caller coming from South Africa. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, comrade. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You are calling from South Africa?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from South Africa.
What is on your mind, sir?
Thank you so much. I'm calling with regard to the Kamto issue. You must have noticed that over the years, he has always attempted to use the Anglophone problems for political gain. You recall the strike action he once organized, thinking that the Anglophones are going to come out to support him, and that was the cause of the first problem.
Yeah.
And even with the elections, people are saying that the problem is not about the registration. It is not about voting. It is about defending the vote. The regime is there. 2 weeks ago, the regime just appointed two Supreme Court magistrates.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Did they remove?
The rigging process of honor.
Did they replace the old? Did they replace the old guy?
They replaced two Supreme Court judges just 2 weeks ago. Because I recall that 2 of them died.
Okay.
And over the years, there were no replacement. And then 2 weeks ago, the regime, the government just replaced that. I saw a swearing of 2 Supreme Court magistrates.
Okay.
And it's obvious that the 2 of them coming in now are coming just to prepare them for the tax again, to rig and defend their elections.
Absolutely.
So the problem in Cameroon is not about voting. It's not about registering for voting. It is about how do we defend the vote? How do we defend the victory? So it is Ambazonians, we need to prepare ourselves. From now on, whatever is happening there doesn't concern us.
Absolutely.
They have shown us bad faith over the years.
Absolutely. That is the message we are trying to say.
Entering into our territory with their voting, with their campaign, with whatever.
Right. All right. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, comrade.
All right. Okay, the phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and call with your contribution Again, make sure that before you call, the volume of your set, your TV or computer from which you are watching is turned down. In the absence of any caller for now, again, if you are in Kumba, if you are watching or listening to me from Kumba, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to know the updates on the shootings in Kumba this evening. We have said here that May 1st will be a shutdown, a lockdown inside Kumba because colonial officials in Kumba are forcing, they have printed t-shirts, they are forcing traders to go and buy it and use them for a march past on May 1st, Labor Day, and those t-shirts, of course, they bear the image of Paul Biya. Can you imagine Ambazonia marching with Paul Biya image for the public to see? All right. Hello, sir. This is the Honorable Sama Thomas.
Good afternoon, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir.
In fact, the program was nice, but I just got to give my opinion on the issue of names so far as the Southern Cameroons is concerned. We must not give way to international conspiracy about the Southern Cameroons, for the Guineas are Guineas, Guinea-Bissau and Guinea-Conakry. They are neighboring countries and none is claiming the order for being part of the order. So the issue about the Southern Cameroons is an international conspiracy. It is not as if the world does not know that the Southern Cameroons is a country. It is not as if the world does not know the Southern Cameroons is part of British Cameroon that was balkanized, which the north was British Northern Cameroons and the south was British Southern Cameroons. So we must not confuse ourselves and confuse others with the name. The name got nothing to do with the fact that we are colonized.
Hold
the
on
French
there.
are those that are blocking the international community from coming into our aid to accept the fact that we have been colonized, for we were sold by the British to the French for £20 million. Until death, they do not want to accept the fact that we were sold and needs to be reinstated so far as 1961 was concerned.
Hold on there. Hold on there. I think you make a lot of sense in your argument there, because we have Guinea and Guinea-Conakry. We have South Korea and North Korea, right?
North Korea.
Yeah.
We have East Timor.
We have Sudan
We have
and
East
we have
Timor and
South
West
Sudan.
Timor.
So I think it makes sense that, hey, we keep, after all, the name Cameroon came from Cameroons. Cameroons was discovered in our own part of that territory.
So I do not understand this issue of name that the name is the name is not the problem. We shouldn't be fooling ourselves with the issue of name. That's not the problem. Secondly, our public election in Southern Cameroons.
Okay.
Southern Cameroon will get themselves involved with Lara Public's election. Anybody that comes around in Southern Cameroon talking about elections to any Southern Cameroonian, get your cutlass. That's the only welcome you can welcome to the person with. Get your cutlass, chop off such a person's head and ask him about when you chop off his head and the remains of the ground dancing. Now remind his remains of Frundi's victory in 1992. What was the consequence of that victory of Frundi in 1992? Where is Frundi today? And why are they now accepting that Frundi won the elections of 1992? Would they go and exhume Frundi from the grave to come and make him back president of the Republic? They will not. Is it now that you will vote who to be one in the Republic that will change your status from being what to what? Southern Cameroon should stay off from La Republic's politics. Anybody who comes campaigning in Southern Cameroon should be killed. Not to read nonsense.
All right, sir. All right. Thank you for the call. Derek, let me get to you, sir. What do you think of Sama's argument that this issue of name is not a big deal, because if you have South Sudan and Sudan, you have Guinea, Conakry, you have Korea, North and South Korea. Come on. Real does Cameroon's Cameroon is where the original name of Cameroon comes from. It was not found on east of Cameroon. It was on the south of Cameroon, which is our own territory. Why should we give up the name for La République du Cameroon?
I think that we are not. The idea is not for us to give up the name. The idea for us is to be able to help people who don't know us differentiate us. If you look the other countries, they were well defined. They were well differentiated. There was no confusion about it. And Sama Thomas just told you that there was no one claiming the other, or no one coming to annex the other. But in our own situation, it's different. So they have been using the name all this while to push a false agenda by first talking of German Cameroon. From German Cameroon, they are telling you of reunification. From unification, they are telling you of one Cameroon. So since that is the confusion to help people who don't know much about us, that's why some of us are of the opinion that why not abandon that name and start putting deep in the brains of people that we are no more known by that name. By then you will help them and they will not develop more interest to know about your history. But if you don't do that, they'll just say Cameroon, you just say Southern Cameroon, they say, oh, Cameroon. Even if you are talking of Southern, nobody, I'm telling you something that I have encountered. When you say Southern Cameroon, they say no, Cameroon. You want to say, especially Africa, say, oh, no, we are one, it's the same people, Cameroon. That's what they will tell you. But when you start identify yourself as Ambazonia, he start asking you, where is Ambazonia? You start giving him now the history and giving him website to go and read. When they go and read, they will call and say, I'm seeing that you people have a war. I say, yes, we have a war. It's okay, now I begin to understand. But if you talk Southern Cameroon, you just say, okay, Cameroon. He goes in and he has no time. So we are just saying that for conveniences, let us not overemphasize on this issue of name. Let's keep it aside. Tomorrow, when we are free, we can decide to come back to German Cameroon name, or we can decide to take Southern Cameroon. We can decide to take Ambazonia. It's not written anywhere that we must take Ambazonia. But to help the international community understand us, it is best for us to even keep away this name of Cameroon so that that confusion will die out. That is my take.
All right. It's a good argument still. Let's see, the phone lines are still open. Please go ahead and make your call. Yes, I see somebody trying to reach me from Kumba. Please call me. Let me know what is happening in Kumba, or let me see I can get to you. And let's find out what is happening in Kumba. If you are in Kumba, I'd like to hear from you. Get some updates on the shootings in Kumba this evening. All right. Again, the phone line is open. Go ahead and call to make your contribution about the program. Yes, Comrade Chris, we have learned enough from you last week and today. This is one of the viewers. I think this is coming from Ground Zero. Yes, Comrade Chris, we have learned enough from you last week and today. This Thursday, tomorrow lockdown we are going to expose them from where, this Thursday, tomorrow, lockdown by ADF, we are going to expose them from where they hide and collect back to their camp. Like in Tarekon, Tumaza, Nitop to Molang, and Atuakum. Last week, Thursday, Ghost Town, they went away. They went away with more than 10 bikes. They went away with more than 10 bags. Comrade Derek, I think you were still away when I came up when I discussed these ADF shenanigans on the ground. I don't know if you have any take on the position that we have taken to eviscerate the ADF anywhere on the ground because it is a moment to do so before they destroy this struggle for all of us. I think it seems like you are muted.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was right. Well, I was just saying that it is unfortunately that the ADF is finding itself in this situation because I know that among those young boys, there are some who are actually out there to defend that territory. And again, I think that the leadership of the AGOF-C have actually allowed the organization to be adulterated. And why I'm saying this because the way they function now is not the original idea we had before creating that movement. And I was part of it. Most of you know that. And even the ADF, I was part of it. The idea was not to be what it is accused of doing today. It was to fight for the liberation. And it's unfortunate that the leadership allowed themselves to be surrounded by liars, people who told them lies, who deceived them, who were making propagandas left and right that we have territories here, territories there, we have done this and that. And when we were warning them, they were not listening. And today they find they have placed that movement and that the defense forces in the situation they are. I think that the ADF was not even supposed to be taking liberation taxes. If they had gone by the rules and principles we had put in place, the ADF was one of the most well-financed movement in this liberation struggle. So I will call on them, please, stop this liberation thing and save your life. Stop harassing your own people and stop doing everything that will take us back to La Republique, because what you are doing today will return to you when Ambazonia is free. People will turn back to you. They will point finger at you, and I don't see how the AGOF-C, any person in that leadership is intending to stand election in the South of Cameroon and believe that they will win such an election. It will be impossible, you know. So I don't hear you. Your mic.
Sorry about that. That is why we say that they are not for this struggle, because they know the harm they have caused, and they know, I believe Ayaba knows, he goes on ground zero to stand an election, they will stone him. They will stone him. And so, knowing that, they're doing everything they can to mess the entire thing, get rich quick, walk away, and they don't care what direction the struggle goes, because by then, they would have made their money. They would have made their money. They collect all these millions. Where have they been fighting? They buy all this equipment. There is no doubt they have equipment. But what are they doing with it? Where are they fighting with it? Instead, they use it to harass civilians, abduct them, and kill some. All right. Hello.
Hello, President Chris Kano.
Hello, Vela. How are you, sir?
Great. I'm calling live in your program that's going on right now.
Absolutely. You are live. What is on your mind?
So, ambassador in Ambazonia, I'm calling because of the stake, also in recognition of your sacrosanct to the fact that I know that Ambazonia is going nowhere if our own leaders that represent us don't listen to us from the civilian perspective.
Okay.
We come to realize that at the end we will have to talk to the enemy. We will have to sit with the enemy.
Very correct.
Crying for negotiation. Or negotiation with the enemy. And this, if we cannot even negotiate among ourselves, talk among ourselves, then how do we prioritize the enemy as a holy saint than us that are supposed to know that we have difficulties, different opinions? Some are realists, some are idealists, some are Marxists, and these are components of a society, and we are a society. How could we go on declaring war on one another and fighting one another rather than fixing things? In the case of we had draft, we have my trip to Buya. The ADF too might have a draft ground zero, like it was draft ground zero. Maybe the tax is also applying ground zero now. If we accept that draft ground zero was bad, then can we say that tax is bad? But we don't really look at our own mistakes, but we only dwell on the mistakes of others.
All right. Hold on there. Hold on there. I'm going to have a good conversation with you. I'm not dropping you. Hold on. Let's take it point by point. You raised a point. Hold on. I wouldn't drop you. I think somebody brought to my attention an audio you put out there berating me for taking the stance against the ADF. Now, you come here talking about the need to talk among leaders, and you and I was spoken quite lengthily in the background over the efforts that we hear from the interim government. Myself in particular will try to put forth to bring these leaders together to a collaborative pact, which you know it didn't work. Now, you have also been a bona fide member of, if not a founding member, I guess, of the ADF. Now, you know for sure, and it is good that Derek is here because
he wasn't a member.
Oh, he wasn't.
I have a list of all those who. He wasn't among the when the ADF was created.
I am a humanitarian for Ambazonia, so I just
started. Okay, so I guess when the ADF started, you were not there, but eventually you became a supporter. But I would like you to take this. I would like you to take this question.
I support groups in this struggle based on humanitarian, like injustice.
All right. Hold on. Let me pose the question. Let me pose the question. Knowing what the ADF has done for 7 years and counting, you will recall that it was in 2019 or 18 that this interim government came out and said they're banning the ADF. That was a long time ago. Now, probably 4 or 5 years after, it is still the same group, it is still the same management, nothing has changed. Our people, I'm sure you hear the same cries that some of us will hear coming from ground zero. Tell me how, after all these years, you will handle this if you were in our position.
So, thank you so much for this question, because I really respect this intelligent question. If the interim government has banned this, when the interim government was led by, let's say, President Sako, and the interim government vision is a vision from God that is very undisputable. That means it is correct vision. What has made the SM interim government that has that good vision, that is so perfect, that doesn't make mistake, for you to be talking now as another IG? Why there's another one with Marietta?
No, but you're not answering, you are diverting. Listen, I like straight shooters. Yeah, just answer the question directly. What would you do? If you can't answer a straight question, I will cut the phone. What would you do with what the ADF is doing on the ground on our people?
I would take you serious if you are talking from the same interim government that made the pronunciation that you are saying.
Answer the question. What would you do with the current situation where the ADF kills and beheads our own people?
What I'm saying, Mr. President, is that that question is baseless and irrelevant. It's not.
All right. You have a great day, Vela. I try to reason with you. All right. So that again, when people talk about education, that is the reason why we have to do some of these things. You cannot reason with these guys. Their heads are blocked. Comrade, go on. I think you are muted on your end.
I was just saying that most of them don't actually understand the Ambazonia liberation, because when I see the comparison he was trying to put out, the comparing draft and liberation taxes, those are two different things. In draft, people give freely, people give willfully,
Right. They give voluntarily.
Voluntarily. But when you come with liberation, you are holding old mothers,
you're holding
parents
guns
at gunpoint to give money. That is, it is unacceptable, and that is why from the onset I advised the egg of sea from the beginning. When it was created, I advised them that we should to move ahead, we should start on collaboration. If we move on collaboration, then we can project they can project the egg of sea to be that military body where the main body of the liberation will collect money, give them. When they get the money, then they buy AKs-47. Now they face the enemy. If they can kill 5 enemies, they will come and say, okay, look, my people, they gave us bet $1,000. We bought 5 AKs. We killed 5 enemies. If we had $10,000, we would have killed 100. From there, now it will be the population now pressuring the main body to give money to them. But they didn't listen. They just thought that we don't listen. We don't hear. You are muted.
Hold on for a second. Let's get to this caller.
Yeah,
hello.
good.
Hello, comrades.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ganzero, Boyo County.
Boyo County. Wonderful. Good to hear your voice. What is on your mind?
Good. I'm greeting all of you in the studio, and I thank you for the good work you have been doing. So I want to respond to the last caller.
Okay.
What that man is trying to say, it is not that he does not understand what is going on. He is just a supporter of egg of sea.
Right.
He know what he's doing. So they know that the decision that the IG have taken against these hoodlums called ADF on Ground Zero is going to succeed. Wiping them out, taking them out is the right decision. That's why you see them fuming all over.
Yeah.
Even last week, on your show, the other man called and was fuming, telling you how he's going to deal with you, because they knew that this decision that you people have taken, the IG, is going to succeed. So I'm saying this to say that all Ambazonians that are in diaspora, please, I'm begging you all, put some money in the hands of Comrade Chris. Let him finish this this struggle that was given on us without us asking for it. Put some money into the hands of Comrade Chris. Let him finish this work. It will not take long. It will not take long. Money is the problem. Especially those of you who are in USA, Canada, and Germany. They are all jobs that pay a lot. You people should not bother about you are diplomats doing the, you can have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and you just manage to have some money for 3 months, 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, and you let's push this thing further. Boys are ready on the ground and they need material. They need material. I'm telling you again, the IG, I thank you people very much for coming up with this good plan to eradicate these hoodlums on the ground called ATM. We are going to focus very well and deal with La Republic when we must have finished with these ATM people on the ground. Yes, that was an excellent, very, very excellent decision and a very smart decision that you put up there.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good to hear your voice.
Chris,
thank you.
Chris, I have something to say here.
Okay.
Comrade
Deli, hang in there. I will get to you. Let's get to Ground Zero first. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northern Zone.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. What is on your mind?
Okay, I want to appreciate the good work. Just keep on, don't mind. All those window dressing. Those are hand clappers from Ariaba. They will not say nothing different from that. So, what you are encouraging and enjoy your voice, and that of Synco, the idea last week. Any county in Ground Zero will put your eyes in anything ADF. Enemies are military are not a friend, but this time around, when concern ADF, the military be a friend that time. Only about ADF. We're tired. That is the access that you can communicate. Can you imagine somebody 8 years today? You cannot show one battleground on ground. We see common of what? Common of sabotage or common of what? What are we talking about? Anybody on ground zero where AD has to move around to mention you, I call you force. You have the yam and you have the knife in your hand.
Yeah.
We will not leave this struggle, but anything concerning ADF is the enemy, and you have to deal with him squarely. Anything ADF, any county on ground zero, you know what to do. Thank you, and we stand by you. Continue. We will go to the end and we will succeed.
Thank you,
all
sir.
those hand clappers over here, noise maker. People that come on TV, only Christian, they come and popular. They come, they give more credit to you. They make you to be popular. Let them come every day and call their name. Those that.
Oh, so every time they are on TV, it's
Yes.
Chris Anu, 24/7.
Cristiano, Ayaba, Sako, Cristiano, they are making people to know who is Cristiano, and I'm calling them to do more.
They don't
Yes.
realize that I have been here now for going to 8 years.
So I join my voice with the one of let the make the play around. While watching the what her plan. Yeah, Momo.
All
Let
right.
they come around again. When they come closer again, we're waiting for them.
That is the solution, and make una educate everybody on the ground. Wherever ADF get come on the ground, wanna eradicate them, wanna expose them. If whatever wanna fit do, if them turn around, change, we embrace them. Failing that, may they eliminate them. Thank you. Good. Thank you
Okay,
thank you. Yes. Okay, let's get to the next caller here. Ground Zero is calling in. Hello. Hello.
Hello, our president.
Hello, sir. Where you they call from?
I'm calling from the Northern Zone.
Okay, and what is on your mind?
I just want to thank you for the good work, for educating us here in Ground Zero and in the whole world. In fact, our main enemy, the enemy that we have here in Ground Zero is the ATF. That is our first enemy before any other, even thinking of La Republic.
Mm-hmm.
They have done a lot. Last week, when Tuesday, I was going to travel to Manfi. And then what the guys, those ATF were doing on the road, I was in a car with a lady. That lady was having a baby, a small child.
Okay.
They stopped us around Widikum, and then they were taxing us that everybody should drop 1,000, and that lady had just 500 francs, and they removed a button. They were about to start beating that lady. I decided and I completed the money. So those ADF.
You completed the money
Yeah,
for
I
you completed
yes,
the
I
lady's
completed
part
the
of the
money for
money.
the lady before they could allow her to pass. So those ADF that can't come to us, they don't even want us to breathe. It is too much. So So if, in fact, they are our enemies for now, and we have vowed that we will no longer live with them. We have tolerated them for so long.
Yes.
Yes, we have tolerated them. And now, I don't know. They don't want people to move. You want to move, they will harass you. They asking of tax, something that one does not know, that they are compelling you to pay. In fact, they have done more than we can bear.
Well, you people have the solution in your hands now. Give them up. Give them up. Figure out where they come, where they sleep, where they run to. Give them up.
Yes, that's
All
what
right.
we are going to do.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you people so much
Thank you.
for your hard work.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. This is a call from Moscow, Russia.
Oh, Moscow, Russia. Oh, yeah, I know this caller here. All right, good to hear your voice, sir. What is up?
Yeah. Yes, I really want to hand to the Ambazonia people a very pertinent question concerning the ADF of C.
All right, go on. They're hearing you.
The ADF of C claim the Bui warriors killed their 36, 39 fighters.
No, they didn't say we were. They said
Today,
they said Chris Anu killed their 39 fighters in Bue. And so
yeah.
you have heard that narrative, right?
Let's just assume they say so. And let's say they say so. My question is that the very ADF of C are collaborating today with the Bui Unity Warriors or the Bui Warriors, whom they claim killed their 36, 39 fighters. My question goes to the very ADF and to the Ambazonian people to hold the ADF responsible. One, if truly the Bui Unity Warriors killed the 36, 39 ADF EGOPC fighters, would it not be necessary for the ADF to ask the Bui Unity Warriors today, whom they are collaborating today, to show the burial sites of those 36 or 39 fighters?
Exactly.
For us to give them a befitting burial in order to keep this topic close.
Right.
If at all they exist, because some of us we know that the Bui Unity Warriors did not kill this fighter. These fighters were undercover Republic agents who used a sniper squad. That charter was shot from a distance, and when the other fighters ran for their dear life, the so-called 3639 were rescued. That is why we don't have a burial site. Let me ask a question. Who on earth will negotiate or will be collaborating with a neighbor who have killed 7 of his children without showing the burial site of those children to that neighbor? Can that be possible?
Right.
Of course, no.
Of course not.
Number 2 question. Can the ADF EGOPC show us, the Amazonian people, wherever they have ever killed more than one recalcitrant Republic military personnel?
That's a question we're asking on a daily basis. If they were taking these ransoms and doing the kind of work that everybody is saying, we would temper action with some mercies, but we see nothing.
You see, they always show a picture or a video for every time a single military personnel kill. Why? Because that military person may be attend to the place of his superior.
No. See, most of the pictures,
for him to be killed.
most of the pictures or the videos they show is they are always the work of legitimate restoration fighters. They claim it because they know that we are not in the fashion of claiming anything here. They do, but they go ahead and claim it. Put their logo on it and claim, oh, the ADF did this, the ADF did this. Whereas we know for sure they did 0. Go on.
And the pain they put onto our struggling population is unbearable.
Yeah.
unbearable. These are the questions we want the ADF to answer. Can they show us what are they doing with the so-called forceful tax on our people?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the call. I wish they were here to answer you. I cannot answer you. Let's hope that they will come out and answer.
Please, we must keep on asking the ADF for them to ask the We Unity Warriors to show us the burial site of the so-called claim ADF killed 36, 35, 39 fighters. This is what is very pertinent. We must put them into questioning to answer this. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the call. All right, Comrade Derek, if you are still there, you can weigh in on all these callers here. I know they have said a lot, but please weigh in on what you have heard.
Well, you know, as an Ambazonian, I have heard all the campaigns, but the only thing I can say is that we should do things with a bit of caution, because I am fully aware that within the ADF, there are some genuine guys who actually are not doing any of these atrocities. So to put all of them in one basket, to me, might be somehow some kind of injustice. So,
Comrade, you may be right. However, you may be right, and of course, out of 10, all cannot be bad. But what they are doing is exactly what they are not doing is exactly what you want us to do. Do you realize that what they are doing is collateral damage on all the good fighters that you and I will know out there?
Of course.
That's exactly what they are doing. So it becomes difficult for us to sift at them to know who is doing what. If there are some good ones, let them caution the bad ones and do what other restoration fighters are doing.
Exactly. So, but it's good that the leadership, I don't know how who advises them, because it's a long time I left the movement. So so I don't know who is advising them. I believe they are listening. They are following all these reaction from the Ambazonian people, and I pray that they should listen and stop this harassment of our people. Stop all these so-called liberation tax. Just as I said last time in your last show, was that let them allow the Ambazonian people to give freely, willfully, as they did in 2016, 17, 18. The Ambazonian people are ready to sponsor their liberation. They are ready for that. They don't need anyone to force them with some kind of liberation and so on. So if they can, the leadership of the AGOC can now re-strategize, come now and even raise funds, you know, it will be more better. When they were raising funds, we never heard of all these harassment. But once they stopped, funds were no more coming because people saw that what they were doing was not right. That was when they now engaged in these liberation tax things, which are now worsened everything and damaged the reputation of the organization. So if they don't stop it, as I told them myself, told most of their members, some of their members, that the AGOC will surely disintegrate within Ambazonia, within the Ambazonian struggle. So it's time for them to wake up and do the right thing. They should not take it to be a challenge. It's not something shameful to change. Human beings, God created human beings to be able to identify wrong and then change. So they should do that. They should be able to do that. That's my thing.
Somebody just sent in a message and he says, hello, sir. ADF took my wife last week for nothing, sir. Think about that. ADF took my wife last week for nothing, sir.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of stories we hear.
It's sad. I can
Somebody here
understand
says, thank you, beloved brother Chris. I thank you for the wonderful work you are doing for the liberation of Ambazonian people. What do you think about the community shutdown in Big Babanki, Tuba? Do you mean about that? This has been for long, and the people of this community are suffering. Thanks, Mr. President. I'm not aware of that. I'm hearing it from you, sir. I have no idea. We'll probably find out about that later. Well, comrade, I will give you a minute to say the last word and we'll call it a night.
Thank you, Comrade Chris. Thank you, the Ambazonian people, for listening to us. And I wish that we put ourselves together. Cameroon is at the verge of crumbling, and we have to take advantage of that. If we don't come together to work together with our population, to work together with our self-defense, to collaborate together, it will be very difficult for us to liberate ourselves. So I will call on us all to stand up, do the right thing, so that we can liberate ourselves from this bondage we find ourselves in. If not, people like Kamto will still take advantage of us. People like the new SDFF will come in and take advantage of us. So let's come together, put our hands together, stop the killing of our own population, instead turn our guns to the enemy, so that together we can now liberate ourselves. Have a nice day, have a nice night, and stay blessed.
All right. Thank you for being part of the show tonight. Comrade, you have been missing in action for a while, but I'm glad that you find time to be back here. You have a great night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me read this message coming from Ground Zero. Hello, sir. Good evening. Sorry, I can't call. I'm in Ground Zero. I sent files to my sister to Manfe for her small business, but the ADF took some of the files along the Batibo Road. They are really adding our pains. Again, this is coming from our own people on Ground Zero. Somebody trying to manage something to help with the family, and those rooks, they seize them, they confiscate them on the way to the market. This is what we are fighting against. And this is a war, a battle that all of us must engage in until either the ADF stands up and do the work, the kind of work with integrity that other restoration fighters are doing, or again, we eliminate them. The word is eliminate them. No apologies to anybody. All right. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It was a pleasure being back here. I hope to be back at a Wednesday, or Friday. Thank you so very much. God bless and good night.